And we're live, Dr. Art. How do you feel about that?
I feel fantastic about that.
That's nice. I feel good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't start to breathe until 3 seconds ago when we went live. So.
You really held your breath the whole day?
For a week, yeah.
Oh, wow. 2 weeks because you were sick last week.
Yeah.
Yes. But look at you today, the picture of health.
Vitality and youth.
Why does this feel like the first live we've ever done?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the weather. It's got us all messed up.
It's like a brand new experience. I'm not quite sure how to handle this. Oh, I know what we could do. We could scroll up and say, good evening to...
Good evening to the fine ladies and gentlemen in the chat.
And Nathan McCree and Father and Son Garage and Outdoor. And All Consuming Jaws. Good name. Dean Stevenson, Mexican Spec. Wayne Buzzle, what's happening? KJ Kiley, Mopar Man 78. All the guys are in here. Joker, yes. Lots of really wonderful people have popped.
Yeah, Cop Car Steve, Shannon, Scoop. Yeah.
Lots of very wonderful people have come to share this beautiful Wednesday evening with us.
Yes, it is beautiful. Were you on the bike today?
No. I was working on the 86. It's in the back room. Like I needed to make video of some sort because my everything is in the toilet. all my numbers are like circling the drain. And I went to the shop and I'm like, okay, I better come up with some content right now. And it's I'm just gonna work on a motorcycle. So I pulled everything apart and
Yeah, videos in the toilet's no big deal. It's it's embrace it.
I fixed the bike and I couldn't find my clutch compressor tool. So I had to stop. So I ordered yet another one. So now this is like every time I do a clutch job, I end up having to buy a new one because I misplace the old one.
Isn't it storage with that bike over there?
No, there's not. But at least they get cheaper every time I buy one. I remember the first one I bought was like $150. And I bought one off Amazon for $25. So yeah, it's all good. Zero is in the house. Yes.
I found all kinds of my old cool tools putting that motor together for the El Camino. My good, ring spreader and I found my I got a tool for cleaning the carbon out of the piston lanyards.
Oh yeah, you have an actual tool for that?
Yeah. And it's a really cool little thing. It clamps down and you spin it and it's just super clean. And it's like a little cheesy tin tool, but it works perfect.
That sounds so pro because all I've ever used is just broken rings.
Well, that's what I was doing. I'm digging through my endless pliers drawer and I'm like, oh, I remember what this is. I bought this 35 years ago.
All right. So who do we got? What is going on here? We're ignoring our peoples.
Yeah.
We should not do that.
No.
Joker's saying I mooched off of Jamie's video. Oh God, that hurts, man. I mooch off of anything I can get my hands on these days.
Yeah.
Let's see. All Consuming Jaws is saying like, subscribe, and share if you can. Hype. Thank you, All Consuming Jaws.
And it's All Consuming Jaws. Look at that little icon he's got of him. What a handsome individual.
Yeah,
Jaws is.
If I was even just a little bit gay, man, you couldn't keep me away from that guy. If I had that much in me, bro. If I had that much in me. Let's see. Father and Son Outdoor Garage. I feel your pain. You too. I lost my chain breaker, so I bought a new chain. That came with one. There you go. Mm-hmm. I don't know where my chain breaker is either. I've been riding bikes with belt drive for so long. This 86 is the first one I've had with a chain in like a couple of years. Okay. Whoops.
Justin, that's that one there. Yeah.
Regarding the Crowler Glide clutch, we may be able to help. My dad sent an email to your Gmail about it, but I guess you need to search for it. It's done evidently, and now we're waiting for it to actually make its way across the country. So that should take another 3 months.
Finally finished it?
What's that?
Crower finished it?
That's what I understand.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, I think we're going to be okay with that. I think.
Nice. I just got to get the brake calipers rebuilt then.
Yeah, have you started on that yet?
Some research on who the frick can do it, because they're not.
Can you
normal.
get the parts?
It seems, but I'll work more on that probably Friday or Saturday. But it's been busy.
Richard Hayes sent a super sticker. Thank you, Richard. I don't even know what that is, but I appreciate it.
It's like a super chat, but just a sticker. There you go. Thank you.
That's the first one that I believe we've ever gotten in all of these years of doing
sticker.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's number one.
Although I do have pretty substantial head trauma, so sometimes things it's like a whole.
You
brand
might have
new.
got one last week. Who knows?
Sometimes it's all just brand new. Thunderbird 1968 says, Dr. Art, will modifications, head porting, etc., to an OBD1 motor make any difference without a computer flash, or will the computer automatically adjust to benefit from the modifications?
Your computer will not adjust. It's not capable, really. And yes, it will help because it'll just help airflow.
So what do you? So now in the old days when we would do modifications to OBD1 engines, like for instance on the Mustangs, we would crush the
regulator,
to get pressure.
Yeah, because that computer's like, this is AM static, and anything you do externally does help, but it won't go, oh, you ported the heads. Well, no, here's more fuel and more timing. Yay. No, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, right. It doesn't do that, but you can, Thunderbird, you can fool it into doing different things. Like for instance, you had airflow to the motor, you need to add some fuel to it. So you can, what we used to do was take an external, like a temperature sending unit, take one and zip tie it, hang it off the engine, but don't screw it in. And when you're going to go play with the car, you plug the coolant, you plug the wire into that one instead of the one that's actually in the engine. So it senses temperature like 40 degrees cooler, 50 degrees cooler, and it richens it up to meet that. So you got to play with it. That's what those Hypertech chips were about back then.
Yeah. I wish I could find one of them old burners in someone's garage, just to play with it. Somebody's got to have
find one.
Yeah.
Chris Mahan. Google evening. Google evening to you too.
It's a Google kind of evening, yeah.
Do you have to gap rings if you're only running 5 to 8 pounds of boost?
On a conservative tune, no.
No. The thing is, once you get used to running 5 to 8 pounds, well, let me see, we bump it up to 10.
Let me turn this up a little bit, yeah.
So as long as you stay aware of it, and you don't try to push boundaries, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's one for you, Dr. Art. From items I find interesting, what is the best year of the 302 for performance modding?
And this will actually shock you. It's the 97 and 98 302s out of the Explorers because they are OBD2 and they are programmable. It's the same motor, roller. It's got the good GT40 heads. It's got the roller cams. It's got the good intake. It's got all the good stuff in it, and it's programmable. So if you can find a 302 and its harness and computer from a 97 or 98 Ford Explorer or Mercury Mountaineer, that's your best.
Interesting. Okay. Chris's guitars. I bought my car in it last November and I've been having trouble getting it to run right. Carb has just been rebuilt, intake resealed, points and condenser replaced, but won't run right. Chris, guitars, you have to be more specific on that.
Yeah, explain not right. Like
in
idle,
detail.
Won't start,
Yeah, tell us in detail how it's not running right.
We're here all night. We got time for details, sir. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wheelie King appreciates your info.
I appreciate Wheelie King. CD Burlock, yeah, the ECU is programmable, yes, because it's a 9798. It is an OBD2 computer, and yes, you can program it. And yes, I have done that. So,
okay, Justin Billington is saying, okay, if there's any problems, we have an original 7273 one here, which came out of the Stardust Funnycomb when it came over to England in 73. Interesting. Nice. Wow, so you've got an actual, you got the actual thing. I had a Harlan Thompson was well, I don't even want to go into that whole story, but yeah, interesting piece. If we can't find one, or if things go haywire, we'll definitely hit you up on that. Thunderbird, can you expound on the extra temp sensor? How does that affect fuel delivery? It makes the engine, it makes the computer think the engine is cold, and so it richens up the mixture. It increases the pulse width in the injector, so that you get a little more fuel in there. Because the temperature sender tells the computer how long to hold the injector open for. So the longer it's open, the more fuel the engine gets. So when you plug in a coolant temp sensor that isn't directly in the water jacket and it's showing engine temperatures 40, 50, 60 degrees lower than that, the computer increases the pulse width in the injector and fattens it up. And then what you want to do then also is make sure you get the fuel pressure regulator. Disconnect the vacuum line from it. We used to crush the canister on the 5 liters.
I used a C-clamp on them.
Yeah, you could do that. On the 5 liter, it was mounted solidly enough that you could take like a 10 millimeter or 3/8 deep socket, put it over the nipple, and go give it a good whack, and then you're all good. Let's see. I'm scrolling up. Todd Denio, he prefers carburetors and conventional ignition over computerized cars. As do I, Todd. Oh, okay, here, Chris Guitars. Okay, it sputters and shivers, backfires when I drive, and sometimes the throttle does jack. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've checked that you've got a good cap, good rotor, good wires on there. I'm going to assume that you've already covered the basis. Shivers, backfires when I drive. Sometimes the throttle does jack. Check coil voltage. See what you got. You should have a bright blue snapping spark that's going to be at least a half of an inch long, right? So with the engine running or cranking, pull the coil wire off and start pulling it away from the coil. And you should be able to get a good half-inch away from the coil and get a bright snapping spark. Sometimes bright, it just depends on the ignition, really. Sometimes they're bright blue. Sometimes they're oranges with a little bit of blue in there. But it should be snapping. You know what I mean? You should be able to really hear it. If you don't, that'll give you low voltage out of the coil will give you all of those issues there. Would you agree with that, Dr. Art?
That's a darn good place to start for
yes.
telephone diagnostics. Yeah. Because I'm thinking it is some kind of ignition thing too, and if he's got like some white box points and condenser that just maybe shit right out of the box, you know?
Yeah, yep, that could be. Oh, yes. Oh, Dr. Art, what he just said. Yes, I didn't even think of that. Bad condenser. So in which case, when you check it for spark, you'll get a good bright spark. But yeah, no, in running condition, you'll get an intermittent spark. Yes, Dr. Art nailed it. Could be a bad condenser.
Because I've had that. You get them, especially if you get the points condenser, that little package that comes together that you sink in there.
Yeah,
those are always garbage.
Interesting. I forgot what kind of car it was that he had. It was a coronet, so it wouldn't be a unicep. It wouldn't be a unicep point. But yes, definitely, very, very good possibility. Okay, let's see. He has a brand new Edelbrock coil, and it's got new wires, new plugs, new cap, new rotor condenser, replaced a couple of times actually. All right, it's a new Edelbrock coil, but did you check the spark quality? See, I mean, it could be bad out of the box. That wouldn't be the first time somebody took an aftermarket part out of the box and it was dead. So check for that. But I'm telling you, Dr. Art, I think he's replaced the condenser a couple of times. I go back to what I said originally. Check the quality of the spark. And if you've changed the condenser a couple of times and it hasn't made any difference, I mean, the odds of getting two bad ones out of the box it's not unheard of, but it's not likely. Check spark quality. And also, what are you doing for ballast resistor on that? So that's a Chrysler product, right? Are you running two ballast resistors? Does that coil call for a second ballast resistor?
And do you have a proper ballast resistor and your coil's running at like 6 or 7 volts?
Yeah, check the voltage at the positive of the coil. Disconnect the negative of the coil. Leave that off and check the voltage at the positive and see what happens. I'm scrolling back up here. Thunderbird has a Ford 4.6 2-valve question. What's the vacuum diaphragm on the driver's side fuel rail for? Is it maybe to restrict fuel flow at idle? Does anyone know what I'm referring to? That's the regular.
A couple people commented that maybe I know what he's talking about, but I'd have to see it because it's been a while since I've put eyeballs on one. It's either that fuel dampener to get rid of that pulse noise vibration in the rail, or it's the regulator. I'd have to take a look. Okay. And I can't see it in my head right now.
Let's see. Let's see, the holes. I saw something on social media where this bloke used a vapor rust with a 20% ATF as rust remover soaking solution. Works better than a vapor rust alone, might help some of the viewers. I could see that. Throw a little acetone in it while you're at it. Can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Mm-hmm. I think I got a gallon of degreaser and a half a gallon of gas when I was cleaning parts for the El Camino, and it worked really well. It just melted the goo off of it. You'd stick stuff in there, come back in the morning, and you just hose it off, and brand new part. Yeah.
All right. So Boomer says it's a fuel pulse dampener.
Okay, I'll believe that.
How does that work? And why?
Because it's a thing on the Fords with the vibration and stuff like that. It's to calm the vibration. It's an NVH mostly thing.
Interesting. Okay. That's so nitpicky.
Yeah.
The NVH people, they're just over the top. Philip Reed, thank you for the super chat. 1600 cc VW H4. Pulsing vibration at higher RPMs. I'm thinking it's time for a valve adjustment or a possible misfire. Am I on the right track or far off? Pulsing vibration, no valve adjustment. Unless you're thinking it closed up. Cranking the engine when it's cold, does it sound like it's got a misfire? Or there's like a light spot? So when it's cold, right, the clearances are all closed up. That would be the only thing I could guess at as far as valve adjustment. Possible misfire, yes. Pulsing vibration at higher RPM. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Art?
On a bug, I'd lean towards more misfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Phil. Phil, try to be a little more specific about that. Like, what RPM does it happen at? How is the thing acting at lower RPM and like crawling around town? Zero's in the house. Anybody's forever? Yes.
Zero.
Dave Bowen, sorry he's late. So what were we talking about tonight? We were just talking about you, bro. Yeah, I mean,
it was all about Dave until 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, so you missed it.
And then Chris's guitar's got some more.
Oh, okay, great. All right, Chris, the coil works great. All right, you test on your dad's car too. The spark is strong, able to pull a wire nearly an inch away. It's snappy. Okay. Also, I'm finding auto corrects, so some crap won't make sense. Okay, so now did you check the voltage from the car to the coil through the ballast resistors that you have? Okay, here. The old thing is possible of just burning up condensers with a high performance coil. It did the same thing with a previous axle coil it had when I bought the car. Let's go back.
I'm gonna say something super obvious and not to offend anyone.
Yes.
But does he have the condenser on the right side of the coil?
I'm assuming he's got it in the distributor where it belongs. But I'm going back to his original. Okay. Good luck finding it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I brought my car in last November and I've been having trouble getting it to run right. Carb has just been rebuilt. Intake resealed. Points and condenser replaced, but still won't run right. Okay. And then he responded when I asked him what. Okay. He said it sputters and shivers, backfires when I drive, and sometimes the throttle does jack. All right, so let's get away from the ignition then, Chris, because it looks like you've already covered the bases with that. All right, wait, Chris, I got to answer this one here real quick. Philip Reed. When cold, it runs on 3 cylinders. Sometimes after it warms up, it runs perfectly. That's the valve being too tight. I've changed points and coil. Condenser test fine, but working on getting a new one. Yeah, set the valve.
Set your valve adjustment. Yep.
Yep. Set your valve adjustment. That's a telltale, you know. And what that means is that you're sinking. It's going to be an exhaust valve, right? That you're going to find tight, and it means that you're sinking the valve, which means that you've probably got a vacuum leak in that cylinder. It's affecting that cylinder and leaning the mixture in that cylinder. And that will cause the valve to sink. So, yeah, check for a vacuum leak, maybe a broken gasket or something, and open up the exhaust lash on that cylinder, and that should do it. All right, so let's go back. On Zero is saying, I had a terrible run of condensers when I worked at O'Reilly. I warranty it 9 at least. We only got it just because I was a manager. 9 of them. Okay. All right. So this is going back to Chris Guitar's situation. But let's look at other possibilities, because it looks like he's been through the ignition 6 ways to Sunday. All right. He's saying it's in the distributor, the condenser.
No, okay. All right.
Okay, so you said it had an axle coil in it before you put the Edelbrock one in there, right? The axle coil runs with 2 ballast resistors. Does the replacement one also use 2 ballast resistors? And, oh, yes. Ford, CD Burlock jumps in there. Very good possibility. Oh, all right. Is the shaft wobbling? Oh, okay. He nailed it. He nailed it. He nailed it. Let me go back there to Chris Guitars. Chris Guitars, where is he? There he is. All right, Chris, is the car handy? Can you get to the car? Because if you can get to the car right now, okay, get in there, right, and check the play at the top of the distributor. I bet you the bushing is bad. CD Burlock brought good move. Good move. Check. This is going to affect a points distributor, but not an electronic distributor. Check the play at the top. Grab the rotor and just push side to side, back and forth, right? Because what happens is, as you get the higher RPM, the pressure from the points, the spring pressure from the points, just pushes the shaft out of the way just enough to close up the gap. So it'll idle fine, right? And then when the RPM comes up and the spring's always hitting against the shaft, it'll push the shaft out of the way just enough to close up the point gap and give you exactly what you're talking about. So check that. Father and Son Garage. Yes. I seem to remember you did a video a while back with distributor slop and point adjustment. Yes, that would be relevant there. I believe that's what it is. Go ahead, Chris Guitars. Go check your distributor and see if that's what it is. Because now we're determined to figure out what's up with your car. Wheelie King already mentioned distributor shaft bushing like 4 times now. Oh, geez, bro, I'm sorry. These things just go by so fast. Well, to me, because I'm all right. So yeah,
he says he's gonna go. He says he's gonna go check that. So we'll get back from him in a minute. Okay.
Let's fix somebody else's car.
All right. There was a good question that he was having a conundrum.
Oh no, not a conundrum.
He was it's Todd Dino at 725.
725.
It says, I'm torn what to do. A friend wants me to do a cam and intake swap on my 49,000 mile rust-free 67 AMC Marlin. As rare as it is, I'm reluctant to, even though it's reversible.
Why? If it's all original and it runs, why? 49,000 original mile rust-free?
Don't touch it.
Do not touch it. Leave it alone. Tell your friend to go find a car to work on and leave your car
Just have him go buy his own AMC.
Yeah, tell him to go buy his own.
But yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't touch it. And it's a Marlin. It's not like it's a, it's just a cruiser. Leave it alone. It's probably wonderful. And you're just going to F it up and it's going to be horrible and undrivable. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're going to break some weird AMC part and you're going to wait. The thing's going to sit down for 3.5 weeks while you're getting some. No,
just leave it.
Find a new friend.
Yeah, everybody's agreeing here. Scoop is saying don't wreck it. Shannon's saying leave it alone.
Yeah.
Millbar Man is saying don't ruin it with airbags and Band-Aid tires.
Yeah, leave it.
Yeah, we've gotten to that point in history, man, where if it's a vintage car and it hasn't already been like run through the mill, you know what I mean? Like it's got all of its original parts on it and it hasn't been screwed with, don't touch it. Just keep it. Just keep it.
I'd love to find like an 89 to 95 ish Mustang 5-liter, just dead stock exhaust, wheels, tires, springs, everything, and just drive it that way.
The older I get, the more appreciation I have for just leaving stuff alone. I mean, I've always been that way with certain types of cars. Like if it's something I drive every day on the street, no, there's no modifying this shit. You leave it just the way the factory and just keep it going, right? But the further down the road I get, the more appreciation I have for the way things they were engineered so beautifully, so nicely, and they were so sweet to live with. You know what I mean? You want a hot rod, do a hot rod, right? But if you've got a good original car, keep it alone. You leave it alone. Yeah, Joker is saying a stock Fox body. Ooh, rare. I know. They've all been.
I'd buy it in a minute. if it wasn't just, you know, it was just nice still and not trashed and not 17 teenagers had it and, you know, and ruined everything on it like all the other ones I've ever bought. So.
Yes. Okay. So he's been convinced.
Yeah.
Philip Reed, heck, I'm 20 and I might make it look more goofy than it already does, but the stock 72 Super Beetle is all I need. Yeah, it's a fun car, man. With something from the early 40s or 30s. That's ambitious.
And it's Super Beetle, so he's got good suspension and the wraparound little windshield. You know, it's a nice little car.
No, seriously, man, a stock Beetle, you know, with the stock exhaust and all that shit, is just a joy to tool around with.
Yeah, you know you're not going to get there fast, but you don't care. You're just
right.
Yeah.
Beetles are one of those things. I've seen amazing Beetles like back in the gas days, modified production, and crazy Beetles, really cool shit. But there's like the in between Beetle. So there's either like dead stock or radical race car, right? The radical race cars are a blast to watch. And the Beetle is just that middle ground in between where just there's no happiness. Leave it stock, full on race car, you know, and then, you know, nothing really good happens in between. Let's see. Father and son garage. I drive by a Fox Body every day. I've had thoughts, bad thoughts.
Yeah, well, I mean, because they're easy to mess with and stuff like that, but then you can never go back because now it's this and they drive not great and there's a vibration and, you know, it's cool and loud, but it sucks.
I'm not saying don't modify cars, don't build hot rods. What I'm saying is that if you've come across something that's intact today, in today's day and age, if you've come across something that survived all of these decades with all of its original parts, no, you'd be a fool to mess with it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Pass it on. If it doesn't suit your purposes, pass it on to somebody who will appreciate it for what it is, and then go find one that's already been, you know, already had all the original
tubbed and caged and blah, blah, yeah, all the bullshit.
And it's cheaper and easier to do it that way also because somebody's already gone through the major work of, you know, disassembling shit and putting in roll bars and whatever else has to be done. It's a cheaper, easier way to go if you're going to build a hot rod.
Go up to 733 Cop Car Steve.
733. I have an 85 Mustang with a junk carburetor. So I bought a new Holly 4160. Can I drop it and run it, or do I need to make fine adjustments? What say you, Dr. Art?
Some basic stuff, you know, idle speed and, you know, and some idle circuits and stuff like that. I don't think you have to go crazy, you know, but just mostly just around your idle bleeds and your idle speed, and you'd probably be okay.
Yeah, if it's a brand new out of the box carburetor, it's calibrated to run what you're putting it on. You know, basically a street car. So it's set for the range, you know, ice cold to really hot, you know, easy transition and stuff. I wouldn't mess with the carburetor. When you install it, go one full turn. So the throttle stop screw, back it all the way off till it doesn't make contact, and then go one full turn of contact. The idle mixture screws, screw them all the way in, okay, and then come out one full turn on each, and then fire it up, and then make your adjustments from there. That should get you right there. And besides that, I would just leave it alone.
Leave it, yeah.
Dean Stevens says 4180C is best if you rebuild it. That would be the original carb that was on there.
If Dean says so.
He's saying, buy any 4160 will do. 4010 Summit is great. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Siderider is saying it will run fat. The 570 CFM 4160 on a 302. No. Why would it run fat? Ayatollah Ali is saying there is so much bullshit in this world. This live chat thing is refreshing. Except we're completely bullshitting every step of the way. I'm a hibachi chef. I mean, that's what I do.
It's
for
fresh bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a hibachi chef, and he's a house cleaner. Actually, he's not even a he. But you know, this is what I'm saying. It's like everything's bullshit.
This is how far it's gone. Yeah.
But we make it convincing. Siderider is it is jetted for more airflow than the car needs. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
He just said the style of carburetor. He didn't say what size it was. So that's
I'm assuming it's a 600.
Yeah.
Which is the classic street carburetor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, they are jetted from the factory, depending on what you get. If you get a model that's automatic choke, right? Like electric choke, it's jetted leaner than the manual choke one. Not much. It's like two numbers on the jets. Same power valve and all of that. Same secondary metering block, but on the primary side, there's 72 on the secondary. They're like 60. Oh God, don't quote me, but they're like 64s on the automatic choke, and they're like 66s on the manual choke. Not enough to really make a difference. Fubar the Axe just put up a link to my merch, my shirts and my hats and my stickers, and there's the link if you want any of that stuff. So,
and you should want all of it. You should want all of it.
All of it. You should be still thousands of these internal combustion shirts left. I could feed parts of the third. I could clothe parts of the third world with the number of these shirts that we've got. So it would be good to get rid of them. Although they could feed them too if they really, there's some cotton in there. And then Dr. Art has merch also.
Yes, go to my channel and click on the info and the thing in the description and click on that and buy some stuff.
It's like Mark Sauvé is checking out. Good night, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see.
That's right. Mexicans back. Yes, Christmas will be here sooner than you think. Start buying your gifts now. Shop at Tony's.
Yes. Well, in fact, if you buy them now, we're almost guaranteed to have them to you by Christmas. And Todd Denio's meds are kicking in. Good night, brother man.
I'll even do that one better. Because in my stash of odd and wonderful things that is in my cluttered garage, I found a stash of these little pliers. They're about this big, little tiny ones.
What are they?
They're just a little tiny set of pliers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then I got like 4 of them. So the first 4 people that buy stuff from Tony's channel tonight, you will receive a mini pliers.
Wow. Oh, and there's the link to your stuff. So the first 4 people to buy any merch. And how
first 4 people to buy, the first Well, it's all time stamped.
Nobody would really know. You could just make it up.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you buy tonight, the chances are you will receive a free mini pliers.
Yeah. Scoop is saying that for little projects or little people, there's no reason
Yeah,
why.
don't discount the little people. And I mean, if you could have leprechauns, you could have, all sorts of people that are your assistants. So leprechauns are good for holding a flashlight. They use both hands.
Rocco is saying, married women keep stalking me. Do you think it's because of my XJ?
Yes.
It's possible. It could just be your extreme animal magnetism. You maybe like you're just dripping pheromones. It's like craziness, right?
Hey, I'm Rocco. Hey, come on.
Yeah. James Glenn said some people have small hands, like girls. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing gets past these guys.
And then Shannon's got a good comment here all the way on the bottom. 2 weeks ago on Monday night, I had a bunch of people on, and we got on the subject of people painting their cars pink for attention.
Okay.
It came from Mad Matt's Motors, and I put out the challenge that anybody wants to paint their car pink and send me pictures during the live, I will send them $100. And no one is actually taken me up on that yet, because you can buy 7-8 cans of Rust-Oleum in pink for under $100 and make a couple bucks.
Or you could just Photoshop the car.
If you're good at Photoshop and you can verify it, yeah. But
no one's taking me up on it. Anybody with a pink car, you give them $100.
They have to paint their car pink.
Okay.
It has to be other than pink, and then it can be wrapped in pink. You can use the plastic peel stuff if it's pink, but you have to paint it pink, drive it around, and you get $100.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
James Lennon says he thought it was just an Avon lady thing with the pink cars. The caddies, the pink caddy. Every year they would give whoever was the top seller in the region got a pink Cadillac.
And it's Mary Kay, not Avon. So
that's right, Mary Kay. He knows all the cosmetic deals.
I know all about cosmetics. Yes.
Let's see. I'm scrolling up here.
And that started because we're looking for somebody because a friend, Mad Matt, he lives out in Washington State up by Jamie. He bought a little, like one of them little hamster cars, like the Keo Cube, thing to drive around in, as just a beater car. And I'm like, paint it pink for attention. Because he was the same thing. He was guessing his manlyhood, and I'm like, paint your car pink. It'll make you tougher. Put the little eyelashes on it and drive it around with the big red lips on the door, and then you'll guarantee you'll be tough in a week.
Buddy Corfano says I should paint the Belvedere pink. Oh, I fell in love with a 70s swinger that you can find pictures of online. It's a 7340 swinger that's panther pink with a white gut and a white top and a white bumblebee stripe. And I fell in love with this car, and I came that close to cloning that car. I needed to have that car. And at that point, I was just starting the YouTube thing, and it was like, and like my priorities changed. So, but yeah, absolutely. I would drive a pink car in a heartbeat. Let's see. Joey Simmons painted his 57 F100 pink for cancer. Congratulations, brother, man. That's a good move.
Yeah.
On behalf of all of humanity, we thank you.
And we got a new super chat.
Oh, there it is. Lisi Neville. What's happening, man? Was the 440 originally designed as a performance engine or to push land, yacht, sea bodies around, or both? The 440 was you have to go back to the original big block Chrysler, which was so 1958. You had the 383 tall deck and the 413, which is what the 440 was derived from. And no, it was never originally designed as a performance engine. There were performance applications that came along. 1960, you had the well, actually, 58 and 59, you had dual quad versions of the motor, the Golden Lion 413. Then you had the long rams. Then you had the 62, you had the max wedges, the 413, and then the 63 to 64 to 426. So that's the lineage of it. But the 440 itself is just a good all-around motor. And yes, it was mostly intended for sea bodies and stuff like that. But no, it was absolutely not originally designed as a performance engine. It's just a good all-around engine. Dean Stevenson is saying it was designed to save $70 over the 426 Hemi, according to the accountants. I don't know about that. I would say that it's going to be at least $70 cheaper to build than a 426 Hemi. But no, the 440 itself was just an outgrowth of the 413. So the 426 line had become the performance engine. There were no low performance 426s. They always had higher compression. They always came with dual exhausts. So, but in the 413 after 1962 became the pedestrian big block, the one that they would just drop in sea bodies and stuff like that, like normal. Most of them had single exhaust and stuff like that. So the 440 is really just an outgrowth of the 413, not the 426 max wedge. Thunderstruck. Yes. Okay. Nick tested the 413 with manifolds and heat tubes and lost a ton of power. I think something's wrong with this engine. Any thoughts? There's something obviously wrong with the engine. I watched that video, and on the first pull with the heat tubes in place, it was shuddering. The motor was freaking shuddering. Then subsequently in like the next one, it was blow by like crazy out of the breather on the right side of the engine. Crazy. In fact, it was one scene where the dyno room was full of blow by. I have no idea. And he kept pushing the motor. I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm going to say there's something drastically wrong with it. Okay. If I had to guess, the cam that they put in there is ground retarded, or it took out an exhaust lobe, or it knocked the ring lands out of a couple of pistons because of detonation. But there's definitely something wrong with that engine. He'll figure it out. He'll tear it down and figure it out. I see the frustration there. But no, it lost immense amounts of power. So much so that you look at the combination, you say something is wrong, beyond just the obvious.
You go 5 down from there. Philip Reed, he figured out his problem.
There he is. Jiminy Christmas. I think I figured out one of the intake nuts on the right side was loose. I remember when I put it back on the car on the passenger side was so loose it wouldn't run. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. H and Zabur. Do sodium-filled valves really help? In an application where you're managing a ton of heat, yes. Philip is saying it might not be all of the problems, but hopefully that solves one of them. Well, I mean, that'll give it to you. That'll give it to
Yeah.
you. Tighten up the nut and see what happens. Thunder Falcon is saying the Mafia used to use 440, 426 around, or the RB motors around ankles back in the day. That's why you can't find them. I mean, that's a possibility. I never really heard of that, but Dr. Art, if you had to sink a body in the Hudson, what would you use?
Thunder Falcon 289.
Okay.
I mean, a big block, it's not the worst thing, especially if it's open, it's just not going to hold air. It's just going to sink and boom, you're on the bottom. It's an effective, I thought the Mafia, they would more use Cadillac engines, but.
Old Lincolns.
Yeah.
Old Lincolns.
Mm-hmm.
Italians always like Chrysler products. Not where I come from.
No, they were Cadillacs, yeah.
Cadillacs, Lincolns, Mercuries.
Mm-hmm.
They really weren't into the Chrysler products. Imperials were like a West Coast, like, high-end thing. They didn't really pop up in New York. Josh Holman says, I always heard they use cement. Well, why waste all that cement when you could use a whole engine?
Yeah, right. A whole scrap engine. Just.
Shannon, have you ever done a video on how to know what cam you have in an engine from removing and taking measurements? Yes, I did. I'll be rebuilding a Chevy 350 soon and would like to know what I'm working with. I did. I actually did a whole video on that, how to identify a camshaft. Damn if I can think of the first thing at the moment.
Look it up.
Yeah, you need a caliper. It's very simply done with a caliper. You're not going to be able to tell like what the lobe separation is like that, but you'll be able to get the lift and duration. And then once you know the lift and duration, then you could just go to the catalog of whoever ground that cam and find the actual specifics on it. So you need the lift and the duration from an intake lobe. And then from that, you go search. So, you go searching from that through the catalogs and you'll find what you're looking for. Mexican Spec is saying an engine is too hard to move. Imagine they are on the edge of the river with an engine hoist. Well, you got a point there. You do have a point there.
That's why you need 2 or 3 big Goombas.
No, not really. Wait a second. All you need, you would put the engine, like, okay, I don't think you'd want to hang it off the sides because that would definitely, but you'd hang the motor off like close to the back, and then just push it off. And then you would have the body chained to it.
Yeah, you push the body off, you'll drag the motor off the back of the boat.
Yeah. In some sort of container, like a barrel or something along those lines. And you would just push the motor off the back, and then everything goes with it. Excuse me. Let's see. Rocco saying use the bridge. Dude, it would be harder to use the bridge because at the bridge now, so you've got your body and you've got the thing that's going to hold the body and you have your engine block that's going to, be your weight, right? How do you get it out of the trunk and then onto the bridge at a higher? No, that's not practical.
Yeah, and then dropping that on the bridge is going to make too much.
Yeah, at least if you're doing it on a boat, pretty much every move is downhill. You know what I'm saying? You're pulling it out of the back of your truck, right, onto the dock. Then you're going to drag it along the dock and it's going to go down into the boat. At no point do you really have to lift this thing. And then once it's on the boat, now you're going to go out however far, 3 miles, okay, and you're going to shove it off the back of the boat. You never have to lift it at any point. It's always one step lower. On a bridge, you got to get it out. then you got to get it up, and then you got to get it up on the bridge. No, not practical.
Get over the bridge, and it's on a chain and on a guy. You can get turtled up in it, and you can put yourself in the river, and yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
You gotta think through this stuff, bro. Let's see. Shannon is saying I'll have to go look it up then for figuring the cam. As far as I'm told, the cam was bored to fit the largest one you can fit in the 350. Well, it's not bored. Okay, so they're going by the lift, and generally speaking, 520, 530, sometimes like 550 max lift with stock valve guides. So your problem is once you go past that, at full lift, the valve spring, the retainer for the spring, comes in contact with the valve guide. So that's when you say bored to fit the largest one. It's not bored. It's just that's the most lift you can get away with. So it's going to be in the range between like 530 and 550 thousandths of an inch. Let's see. Mopar man, I'm originally from Des Moines, Iowa. In the 80s, seemed like every young Vietnamese guy had to have an IROC. Don't know if the movie Big Trouble in Little China had anything to do with it. I've never seen the movie. I didn't realize there's a big Chevy driving Vietnamese population in Des Moines.
It's a subset of the Des Moines crime syndicate. Well, there goes the Vietnamese guy in the IROC. He's up to something.
I'm scrolling back up. I want to know what happened to our friend with the coronet. Is he still in here?
I don't know. Maybe he's checking his distributor and he hasn't come back yet.
Well, I don't know if he did and we missed it. I'm just scrolling back up.
I didn't see it, but again,
you didn't see it?
It doesn't mean anything.
Okay. These guys are all talking about how they get rid of their bodies. Uncle
Speaking of getting rid of bodies, ask the people in Tucson, Arizona, what they did with the old lady.
Anybody remember Blue Racer cams? Wolverine Blue Racer cams. Yeah, they were like they were the first white box cams. I remember those. I believe those were that Summit bought those, and that's the Summit brand camshafts. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think that's what ended up with the Blue Racer cams.
Boy, I forgot all about that until you bring it back up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember." Yeah.
Oh, geez, look who's in the house.
Dead Dodge Jamie.
Dead Dodge Jamie. What's happening, bro? Who got more who got more views on their Dodge Charger video? Was it me or you? I don't know. I gotta check.
And did it? I was gonna call Jamie, but I just may have forgot it. But sir, that Detroit 456 or should be a 471, but it's a whatever that 2-stroke diesel you're going after. You're a much stronger person than I am. You're gonna tackle that thing, even though you got it running. That's gonna be a.
It's
gonna be a no torque having.
He's
Noisy
young and
son of a
relatively
bitch.
insane. He can.
Yeah.
He's going to run on retard strength. Let's see. Me by a lot? Yes.
It's a 453T and it's going to be sick. Okay.
For you guys who aren't familiar, the fashionably late Dead Dodge Garage, that's Jamie, the best Mopar channel on YouTube. And go over there and like and sub. And one of the mods will put up a link to his channel right there. Keep him busy so I can jack more content from him. I actually got accused of that. He's welding together a fuel tank crossmember right now. Long, dumb day of inching towards a finished Cummins swap. Nice. I wish I had the ambition to do stuff like that anymore.
Well, he's young.
I probably will. I'm just at the stage where I'm just like, I just don't want to work on anything right now.
Yeah. You'll know it when you see it, and you'll scatter all other projects to the wind and bring in this new thing. And
there you go. Mexican Spec just put up the link to Jamie's channel. So go over there and give him a sub and ring his bell and all kinds of other things like that.
Yeah.
Rusty Spigglesmith. What up, Tony the Dart? If you could own a Jap vehicle of any kind, what would it be? RX-7? Yeah, they're cool. Mazda Rotary, isn't that the same? Geo Metro on 25-inch ATV tires.
I would own a GTR like that R32 that I was working on a couple of years ago.
I love me some GTR, but I don't want to own one.
Why not?
No, too much to go wrong. Too much to go wrong. I just don't want to deal with.
Okay.
I had two Z cars way back when. I wouldn't mind another one of those. Modern cars, probably a Subaru. I'd probably go with a WRX.
Some kind of just wicked little WRX. Yeah.
They very much remind me of traditional American muscle cars. In some way. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I just see them in that realm. You know what I mean? It's like they're not swoopy and you know what I mean? It's like, does that make any sense?
Yeah, they look good with fat tires and they're noisy and yeah.
I'm scrolling back up here. Shannon just subscribed to Dead Dodge Garage. There you go.
Yeah, you'll have many, many hours of immersive viewing there, Shannon.
Yes, you're a better man for it. Really King is saying that the Tuner 5.0. You talking about the WRX?
Yeah.
And what would you want? What would your Jap car be?
A GTR. Like, remember the one that I had here a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I love that car.
Yeah.
I don't want to own it. And I would rather watch you work on it.
Yeah. But that'd be something. Or, there's odd ones like a Toyota Crown, which is like a luxury Toyota vehicle, but they were early ones, so they weren't, 20 feet long, but they had all the whiz bang weirdo stuff on it and stuff like that. An oddball like that would be neat.
Let's see. Jamie agrees. He loves Z cars, but also likes Subarus.
Mm-hmm.
Subi, baby, Subi. We should all just get rid of everything we have and all get Subarus, and we'll start the Subaru cult.
Uncle Tony's Midnight Rod and Subaru. Yay.
They have the most unique sound too. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I'm talking about? Like they have a really distinct presence, unlike most of the Japanese cars, which are kind of generic.
They sound like a Volkswagen Bug on steroids, is what I equate it. They got the same kind of brrr.
So Jamie's in on the Subaru gang. We're going to need a lot of spare engines. Look at all the content, though, Jamie. Come on. Look at it like a YouTuber.
Yeah. Well, Mexican Spec says, Tony, Kim has a Subaru Outback wagon she wants to get rid of. Talk to her.
Yeah, I don't want an Outback wagon.
If it's a turbo Outback, but
Barry Cuda. Are 265 wide tires too wide on the rear of my Valiant with a 245 Hemi 6, 185 horsepower? I've been reading about rolling resistance. 265s.
but they're probably not going to fit. But yeah,
Yeah.
a little overkill. They're a little overkill for 185 horse. Yeah.
I agree. I mostly concern myself with rolling resistance on the front than the back. But when rolling resistance is rolling resistance. Yeah, that might be a tad overkill, but if you could fit them, I wouldn't worry about it. James Glenn is saying I would take Ashley's Datsun 411 from Cold War Motors because that freaking thing is mint. Mint. I can't go that high.
Mint.
I used to be able to. Of course, Jamie's loaded with all of the facts because he knows every freaking thing. A 245 fits a typical Valiant or Dart great. 275 can fit, but it has to get back spacing right, and it still might rub. And Olive is in the house. What's happening, Olive? And Cop Car Steve is on his way out. Good night, brother, and thanks for hanging. Scoop would pay $5,000 for a rust-free notchback Fox body roller. Oh, you should be able to find it cheaper than that.
I got a guy in my neighborhood who's had one covered up since I've pretty much lived here, sitting in his driveway, and won't part with it, but hasn't done a thing with it in 10 years.
Rusty wants to know, you ever owned any cool two-stroke bikes like Kawasaki triples or Yamaha RD 400? Many Kawi triples of all different configurations, and never an RD 400 or an RD 350, but I had a few R5s, which was the bike that came before the RD. But so yes, I was very much a two-stroker for a long time. Tony's Scoop. It's been a pretty miserable arthritis day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Olive. But it's improving. What's this about taller rocker studs, Dr. Art?
I don't know the context, but sure.
Yes. I have no. What are you guys talking about?
I don't
know. Let's see. Ryan Peters, what's happening, man? After owning a 2014 Chrysler 300, I've said to hell with it. I get my 75 390 FE 250 on Saturday. Congratulations. What octane do I need to be using in today's gas in lieu of the days gone by? 100 octane. Well, remember, gasoline is rated differently today than it was then, just like horsepower is rated differently. So the old 100 octane works out to like 90 today or thereabouts. 80, no, actually 89. I think it's 89. I don't remember. You can look it up and there's a conversion for it. It's a low compression engine. Your 75 is an 8.5 to 1 compression engine. So honestly, bro, you can run it on just about anything, any of the pump gas. 87. I run stuff like that all the time on 87 with total timing in at about 32 degrees, and I never have any problems.
It's fine. Yeah.
Wait. Uncle Doc is saying he runs 89 in my 78 Hybrid 400, no issues. I'm scrolling back up. Let's see. Barry, okay, so they're talking about the Valiants and the tires and the Valiants. Jamie, remember the 71 Aussie VH Valiant is of a larger proportions, which I didn't realize when you were talking about that. Because I'm picturing just Valiant, the A-body Mopar Valiant. Side Rider, Kawasaki is the Mopar bikes. I would agree with that. Honda's like General Motors, Chevy specifically. Yeah, Kawasaki is definitely the Mopar of bikes, of Japanese bikes. Yamaha's very much like Ford. And in fact, Yamaha worked with Ford on different projects. So yeah, I agree with that. And Suzuki, what's Suzuki the equivalent? Suzuki is just kind of honest. I can't really think of the automotive equivalent to Suzuki. Yeah, Suzuki, Buick Olds Pontiac. Honda, Chevy, and Suzuki, Buick Olds Pontiac. Everything's just a little bit bigger. Yep. Let's see. I'm scrolling back up. Mexican Spec is talking about the Mustang, gorgeous blue notch. Buffed up Campo wanted it. Well, Buffed up Campo wants it. Everybody wants it. That's the way that works.
Right. KJ Kylie, Tony and I were working on cars. Did you ever let out a primal scream?
Wait. I ever let out a primal scream?
Usually it's a very loud F. Followed by something flying across the shop and then hoping the neighbors aren't outside with their small children, you know.
I tend to take things in stride. I can't really remember.
I take things personally. I don't care. It just pisses me off.
Yeah. It's I things go wrong, and I'm like, of course it went wrong. You know what I mean? Of course that broke. So yeah. So everybody handles things a little bit differently. I tend to not get mad. Thunder Falcon is saying he had a Mexican 302. It didn't impress me like my Roller 5087 engine. Well, the 5087 engine was a good combination. What's Mexican Spec? What's the difference between a Mexican 302 and the
just emissions?
Side Rider, yes, they did. The super high output engine is with a Taurus. Yeah, that was a Yamaha Ford collaboration. And I remember the first time I saw that, man. I was actually at the Ford Long Lead press preview in 1987, and I was in love with that Taurus. That was so cool. It was a 5-speed And you open the hood and it had all of those
tubes and runners, and
yeah, that was so exotic. I mean, nowadays you look at it, it's like, man, well, whatever. But
and
but
that
in
was like
1987,
87, 88. Yeah, the Taurus, the big Lego headlight Taurus with
yeah,
that looked like a bathtub. And you open up the hood and here's this.
yeah, I loved that car. Rocco is saying, do swirl port heads flow the other way if you're south of the equator? Yeah. He likes a Lego headlight comment.
That's what they were.
So we're missing something here. These guys are having conversations in between, and I'm trying to pick out things that aren't part of their conversation. She's Shannon. Primal screams every day at work, but managed to make it through today without one really. Well,
that's good.
If I worked for somebody, that would be a different story. I think there'd be a lot of primal screams and assault charges. I don't. I'm hardcore unemployable. I've always been. So yeah, I could see losing my shit if I had to work for somebody.
Mm. Yeah, I've never seen you really lose your nut, over much.
I'm tempered, man. I'm tempered. Like quite literally, like you cannot show me any kind of hell that I don't know already. It's just you can't. And then
right.
I raced with both Bobby Lagana and Jerry Caminito for years. And after those experiences, you're tempered for life. There's nothing that can phase you anymore. I had a Thunder Falcon. I had a GLHS Omni. It was impressive. I love those cars too. Before I bought my 5-liter Mustang, that's what I wanted. I was like, I do everything like this, right? I had it in my head. I needed a new car. I needed it that day, right? And I went to the Dodge dealer, right? And I was like, I want a GLHS, 5-speed GLHS. And I was like, well, we don't have any. We won't be able to get one in. You can put an order in, but blah, 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 blah. And I says, all right, fine. And I pulled out of there. And in front of me in traffic was a 5-liter Mustang. And this guy, light turned green, and he dumped the clutch, banged second, and the car scooted over sideways a little bit. And I says, no, I'll get one of those. So I turned and I went to the Ford dealer. And I sat down at the desk and he says, okay, I want a 5-liter Mustang. Leave everything off. I want a bare stripper. And that's how I ended up buying the Mustang. I'm scrolling back up. But he's saying Tony doesn't look like he'll take orders from a boss. No.
Go down to Rocco on the bottom.
I am truly hardcore unemployable. Rocco, is Mopar out off of probation yet? We need some wrenching to balance out the tech and boomer rants. Mopar Al is not on probation. I would welcome Mopar Al. I mean, if he wanted to pop in and get involved in something, sure, absolutely. I like Al. We had a little bit of a, you know what I mean? I fight with everybody. Eventually, I fight with everybody. It's just the way it is, right? But no, as far as I'm concerned, anything that happened, there was water under the bridge. We're going to get back to wrenching. I wrenched today. I went to the shop to make content. Okay, I was like, okay, I got to come up with something. I need some content, right? And I just wasn't feeling it. So I says, all right, I'm going to work on that bike. I got that 86 Sporty in the back. So I tore it all down and pulled the clutch out of it. And I was in search of a transmission problem. I was getting ready to pull the transmission out, and I found a bolt loose on the side that holds the shifter in place. So I took care of that. And then I realized, oh, I just need to work on something without having to make a video. I just need to be able to get lost in something where there's no pressure of having to explain this or do anything like that. So I actually really enjoyed myself today. And I'm slowly getting back into the wrench turning head, but it's not easy. You know, it could, and I'm sure Dr. Art can relate to this. Having to wrench and cover it on YouTube could be a really like draggy thing. It's like, explain it to you.
Yeah, because you get frustrated with one thing, and then you go tunnel vision, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, fuck, I finished it. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks the fun out of it. I enjoyed myself today. I worked on that bike for a few hours. In my mind, those 2 hours flew by in 8 minutes. It was that fast. I was really enjoying myself. But I was enjoying myself because I didn't have to explain to the camera what I was doing or why I was doing it or how this fits into that. And here's a relationship here. And this is what I'm looking for. And yeah.
How's the light? How's the camera angle? How's the sound? Is there shit going on outside? Are there birds barking, dogs, blood, neighbors, airplanes? Yeah. Yeah.
But we're gonna get back into wrenching. I'm scrolling back up. Torino Elite. If you want to experience losing your shit, try working on Range Rovers.
No, I don't even entertain the thought. The missus, she loves those things, and I'm like, no, sorry, you're not ever going to get one.
And it's funny too, because you go back to the days when those cars were first introduced, when they were first around here, they were good to work on. They were solid, easy, and they just. Joker, Tony, why not a G body, or did you have the Monty prior to that? Oh, you mean when I bought the Mustang? No, I needed something to stick. At the time, I needed. I came up on 4-speeds. I cut my teeth on 4-speeds. That was my thing. I loved 4-speeds, and the 5-speed. Well, that's what was available. If I could have gotten in a 4-speed, I would have gotten in a 4-speed. In fact, the last time I rebuilt the T5, I left 5th gear out entirely because it was like, what do I need this? You know what I mean? Because like, we're just going to go fast in a straight line. I don't need this extra fucking gear hanging off the back of it. But yeah, there was no stick involved or available in the G bodies at that point. Joseph Geisler, was the 18 spline Hemi transmission significantly stronger than the 23 spline, and what are the major differences? The spline, really, that's about it. They're equally strong. They're equally strong. A slant 6 or out of a slant 6 or a 426, I mean, the 833 4-speed is all strong. Why they went to the 18 spline on the Hemi and the 440, I have no idea, but they did. Sweaty fat guy. My ex demanded I buy an Excursion back in 1987. What a big wheezing. I hated those. Don't need an expensive gas hog. My 76 C10 did fine. She got one after the split. I found out why. I said no. Oh, she found out why you didn't want one. Okay.
Yeah. I have a story about that because I was selling cars at the Ford store, when those came out, that new body style, and then a cousin of mine wanted one, and he wanted like one of the first ones. And one of the first ones we got in was a black 4x4, all XLT all loaded up and stuff. He goes, I want that one. So we go in, and they're like, well, it's first one, so there's no discount. You want it? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, I would, I'd wait 6 months and get it if I were you. But he's like, no, I want it. And he traded in his Explorer and bought this. So I made just a huge smash. Did real well selling that truck. But
I never liked them. Those and the Escalades. I just
too big. Yeah, you don't like the big vehicles. Yeah.
I don't like big vehicles. I like small stuff. I like tight, fun, small little things. Who's this now? Hey, Tony, have you driven an 87 Grand National? Are you from? I did a drag test on an 87 T-type, turbo T-type, which is the same as the Grand National, and I was the first person to put a turbo Buick car in the 13s. This was for Cars Illustrated magazine, and it was a story called "From Buick with Balls." And you could, if you search it online, you'll find it. But yes, that was me. I wrote that. And Shannon is checking out. How you doing with your channel, Shannon? Have you posted any more videos?
Yeah, he's done a few. He's doing okay for new guy in it. So
I haven't been watching anything except LA Beast videos.
Yeah, I can't stand that guy. You told me to watch him.
Are you serious?
He's too much of an idiot.
Oh, come on.
No, it's too far. He gave me like a small migraine.
Which one did you watch?
What the hell was he doing? He was I don't even remember. I think I blanked it out. But I'm like, oh, I gotta remind him. And he's like, I'm like, all right, this is no.
Let's see. What's on? Maybe you know this one, Dr. Art. Are T-Roof Fox cars Mustang Capri reinforced somewhere in the body?
No idea.
I would imagine it would have to be, right?
Yeah, they probably did like those convertible braces and stuff like that underneath. Yeah, but for sure, I don't know. But that sounds solid. Yeah,
they would have to do something because the Fox has a very traditional unibody structure. So the roof rail, over your head right here, is big part of the unibody. So when you eliminate that, you've got to do something to keep the car from doing this. So it's probably built on convertible, whatever differences they make in the
convertible torque boxes that they put in the Fox bodies. Yeah.
Okay, Chris Guitar is back. The distributor shift is solid on your coronet. All right, well, we tried, bro. We tried. I'm glad you came back and gave us the report on that. But I'm sorry because now we got to go back to square one with it. I don't know. Dude, it's one of those things where I'd actually have to drive the car and feel it and experience it and tinker around with it myself. Like, we gave you our best shot.
Yeah, let's say your ignition is solid and you got a new carburetor and stuff like that. I would think maybe some kind of fuel restriction, either going to the pump or from the pump up or something like that. But that's hard to see from where I'm sitting.
Uncle Duck is saying check the distributor drive roll pin. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a Chrysler. It has just a Tang drive. There's no roll pin in there. He's saying if he wasn't broke, he'd send a car to me. Let's see. They're saying only convertible. So you guys are saying that there are no modifications for the T-types? T-tops. Oh, Dean, who's a walking, talking encyclopedia. The convertible got A-pillar beef up, and the Jaguar XJS convertible style under braces with different engine mounts. The T-top got nothing extra. Interesting.
They just cut it and sent it. Yeah.
Dean is such a wealth of like information. Dean, why do you not have your, I mean, do you have your own YouTube channel? You've been hanging around here forever. He's a master of like trivial knowledge. He really is. War goes, Tony, you still haven't done a video on how to flare lines. Because there's 10,000 videos out there already on how to flare lines. Perhaps Dr. Art would like to do a video on flaring lines.
I hate brake lines. I hate brake fluid. And now you can just buy the little tool that's with the rotating head that could chunk, 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 and it's done. So there's no magic in cussing at the little thing you got to screw together and tighten down and all that nonsense anymore. So. And I think I actually did that on before the channel got hacked on. Remember that old gold 4-door 6-cylinder Falcon?
No.
Oh, okay. But I did like everything on that car. So.
And you covered all that already. And you don't have any of those videos saved. That sucks. That sucks. No. All right, so Dean is saving up for Mexican spec Fox. UTG, watch this space. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Sergeant Mustang. I just pressed out the upper control on bushings on my 61. 61 what? Oh, one of the bushings has a spacer type thing around the bushing. Any ideas? Heard it was a factory thing for loose tolerances. Oh, bro, I have no idea. 61 what?
Yeah, we don't.
And yes, that's entirely possible.
He says it's a 61 Chrysler.
It is entirely possible. If Jamie is still in the house, Jamie could probably answer that better than I could. Sweetie Fat Guy, Tony, do you remember the Zingers cars with the huge engines stick on them? Yeah, I do. That was around 1970, 1971. Do you remember those, Dr. Art, or are you too young for
that? It rings kind of a bell.
I forget which company it was. But they built these, if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, just Google Zinger cars. I forget which company it was. One of the model companies. and they made these like half-scale cars, you know, with the popular bodies of the day, you know, Corvette and Mustang and stuff like that, and they put full-size engines in them.
Oh, okay. I'm on Google another screen as we speak. But yeah, they're okay. So it's a regular engine, but in a tiny car.
Yeah, they made downsized cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were all over the place back in 1970, 71. They were at all of the car shows, all the magazines were covering them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jamie is in here talking about the 61 Chrysler upper control arm. And he's saying upper control arm bushing spacer, you will sometimes see those on the rear bushing. It's an extra reinforcement piece. We usually leave them off, assuming you got a good press. Well, there you go. And Dean Stevenson wants to do a Limp Bizkit party. Whatever happened to Limp Bizkit? I like some of their stuff.
They peaked and never came out with new stuff, you know.
They did it for the Nookie, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, how are you going to top that?
You can't. You can't.
You just did mic drop and do some tours and get some money and go live out in Vegas the rest of your life. You know, be done with it.
Joker says they're still around. Yeah, there were a couple of bands that popped up in that era that were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling up here. Talking about the T-type. He's saying the T-type wasn't trim of the Grand National. The T-type had been around long before the Gene existed and was offered on many other cars. Yeah, the T-type 79 was the first year for that, wasn't it? 79 or 80? That was with the old style V6 and the turbocharger. And yeah, there was a T-type Riviera. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was the more luxurious, like the Grand National was like had that NASCAR kind of styling, hence the name Grand National. Mm-hmm. And the T-type was more of like the luxury, you know, the luxury sporting type of car, which I preferred. I mean, the Grand National was beautiful, but if I had a choice to flip a coin, I would go to T-type. Colin L. Dodge Chrysler Electronics went downhill in the 80s. They were never really all that. Like 85 Daytona or LeBaron Jeeps. What a shame, electronic junk. Funny, I happen to know somebody who's actually doing an entire comprehensive book on Chrysler Electronics. So, and that's as much as I can or will say about that. So that's coming soon, and it ought to be a very valuable reference piece to anybody messing with these old Mopars.
Yeah, to document all that weird shit. So that's like its own form of brain damage, isn't it? To build a book like that.
Shay Weiss, hey Tony, how does Mexican Spec grow his channel to get over 100,000 subs? I don't know.
He has friends in the cartel.
Yeah. Jamie is saying, who could that be? I suspect the major theme of this book will be that the electrical went downhill long before the 80s. I don't, well.
Come on, most of those cars are one bad voltage regulator away from a Lucas system, you know?
I don't know. A lot of people fault the early Chrysler electronic systems, electrical systems, basically because they had that live amp gauge in there. And the problems that go along with that. The thing is, it's the most, out of all of the cars, it's the most simple and straightforward standard circuitry from 1960 until 72. 73, they started to get funky with it. 74, they started incorporating that the lockout for the seat belts and all the other bullshit. And then like by 75 and especially 76, they really lost their way with a lot of crazy, crazy stuff. But I would say the basic architecture of the traditional classic era Mopar wiring system, maybe because I'm so familiar with them, I've worked on so many of them, they're just good. It's a happy electronic system. The bulkhead connector starts to get dirty and stuff like that. The connections get dirty there, and it causes all kinds of weird problems. But if you know what you're looking for, if you're used to working with those cars, it's really not a big deal. They probably should have used a relay in the headlight system.
Well, all the manufacturers should have had relays in the headlight system. Those Fords would burn up the connectors, even up to the Fox bodies. But yeah, back in the through the 70s, once, because it's just a connector on a bimetal switch, and once that wore out, headlights on, headlights off, headlights on, headlights off, going down the road.
Oh, I mean, I know that, and you know that, and they knew that back then too. But if you go back to that era, they were going out of their way to keep things as simple as possible and adding a relay.
Yeah, let's build the car, make it last 6 years, and throw it away. So they weren't thinking 30, 40 years down the road for any of these. So
Jamie's saying, did you know that Hudson used headlight relays in the 40s? No, he didn't. Yeah, Hudson, Studebaker, oh God, there were so many different manufacturers back then that were really way ahead of the curve on so many things. Jay Weiss is saying, looks like the electric vehicle craze has gone away. Yeah, because common sense, prevailed, and enough people getting burned on them prevailed.
And it was never a craze. It was media biased, forcing it down your throat. There weren't a bunch of people running down the road going, I need an EV. I'm crazy. No, it was all just BS on your television.
Yeah. Lots of people got burned and will continue to get burned for years to come, not because of the cars, but because of the wasted investment from all of those companies. Who was it? I just saw it. Chrysler is going to take, Stellantis is going to take a $1.6 billion loss on their electric vehicles. $1.6 billion this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what they're going to do with all of the cars they built.
Oh, they'll scrap them, or they'll send them to China, or they'll do something with them, or they'll just give them.
They won't run long enough to get to the boat to get to China.
Buy a Hornet, Chargers. Buy a Hornet, get a Charger EV.
They had to have built 50,000 of them, 40 or 50,000.
Probably.
I don't know where they all are. And like, what do you do with all of those freaking batteries?
They're all in a field. They're all in a field somewhere. They're forgotten about, and they'll get all scrapped.
Is Tesla losing money? No. Oh, I think Tesla might be a little soft, but Tesla has a lock on the electric vehicle market. There is a desire for electric vehicles. I'll be the first to tell you that. But if I was myself, if I was in the market for an electric vehicle, if I had any reason to want an electric vehicle, I wouldn't think of anything but Tesla. That's it. I literally would not consider anything else. Like they would be completely invisible. They would not exist in my realm. I would just automatically go get a Tesla because electric cars is what Tesla does. It's what they've always done. So for anybody to try and compete with Tesla or take a part of that market, that's just ludicrous. It's just ludicrous.
Just let them make them.
Yeah, let Tesla make them.
Let the electric car people make their own electric car, and everybody else make regular cars, and everyone will be fine.
I wonder if they can retrofit what the deal is going to be. Like I said, they've got thousands and thousands of these cars. I wonder what the logistics are to retrofit them with the.
It's not going to help. The 12-volt system still sucks in them.
Did you see the response? Some guy who works for Chrysler in the electronic division wrote out the problem. He described the problem that they're having with that 12-volt battery. Okay. And I can't even, it was so convoluted. I can't, not what he wrote. He wrote what he wrote. I mean, he understood what he was talking about. But the concept of it, the way it's all worked, is so convoluted. I can't even like say now like what it was. That this happens and that happens, the other thing happens. It's inconceivable. Like it makes no sense at all.
Well, it said solid global B CAN bus just. Bleh.
I pinned the comment if anybody wants to see what it is. And I said to him, I replied to him, I says, I'm not making fun of you in any way, right? But what you just go back and read what you just wrote. It's the most insane thing. And then he wrote back later. He says, "Yeah, I know it's insane,
but this is what's happening." Yeah.
So how about that UFO disclosure, huh?
I didn't see anything about that.
Oh yeah, that's the new thing now. That's the new thing.
Look over here. There's a UFO. Woo, yeah. Oh. Pray to Zool and watch the UFO. Yeah.
But I saw both had classics. I heard about this. Tesla discontinued 2 models and retooled the factories to build robots. Oh, jeez.
Okay. Because it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he's the master of, no, look over here at this new thing. Oh, no, look over here at this new thing. We're never going to build the truck or the sports car or this, but that, yeah. But look over here, the new thing. Keep buying my stock. Yeah.
Did you see the video of the Chinese robots?
Which Chinese robots?
There's a video of recent video taken at some event that they had in China, and they've got like in this video there's like 50 robots, and they're dancing, and they're doing all sorts of gymnastics and jumping around, and like they're break dancing and they're running and like.
The funniest one I've seen, they had a robot walking over like broken bricks and wood planks and stuff like that. And then they played a video of Joe Biden walking on the beach, and it was the same.
I saw that. I saw that. So yeah. So they're doing backflips and everything. I think it's AI, to tell you the truth. People are talking about it. It's like, oh, look what Chinese, because evidently they filmed the same robots, this previous generation of robots, and they were like twirling like handkerchiefs or something like that. And this year they're breakdancing and doing backflips and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm leaning towards that it's AI. It looks a little too contrived, but it might not be AI. They may actually have the technology to that level now.
But I mean, what practical application is there for a breakdancing robot?
Breakdancing could be the future of all culture. That could become the Earth culture, especially if now we're introducing aliens into the mix. You know, the
interpretive dance through alien robot breakdancing.
Well, it could be the unifying thing that brings us, the whole planet together. You remember the chick Ray Gun from the Olympics?
Yeah,
she could be our new leader.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this works out. But I have a super chat.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yes. Colin, thank you for the super chat. What are your thoughts on the 2026 vehicles that need a computer to sync aftermarket parts, shut down erratic driver, tamper-free fasteners, etc.? I did a whole video on that last week. I don't believe Dr. Art did a whole video on that last week, so let's let him throw his 2 cents in.
I don't even have words to describe it. It's so unnecessary. But all the companies want to go, oh, look what we can do, and look what we can do, and look what we can do, and look what we could charge you more money for because it does this. And it's nothing about a car, right? It's the brainwashing of the sheep of the world to get to buy it. Oh, your car is safer now because it has this thing and does this and stuff. So buy it and go into a 15-year loan on this fucking pickup truck and we'll own your soul for the rest of your life. Just keep making payments. So this is my interpretation.
Well, that's part of it. Part of it is government mandated that they have that 2026 kill switch, and the hardware is already built into the cars. The software just hasn't been programmed into activated yet.
Yeah.
So that's all in there right now. But I did a whole video on it like last week. I don't remember what it's called, but it's there. Coda improvements. What's happening, man? Saying the Chinese robots are doing karate, but they're controlled by human input now. Give it another 5 years and they'll be soldiers. Yeah, I know. I get that. Zero saying, until we see a robot walking on the ocean floor, I'm hoarding squirt guns. Short the bastards out. Short the clankers out.
Try to just throw a fishing net over them and see what happens.
Jamie is saying, the Boss Garage just did a video on the 2016 auto show. He did not have nice things to say. It was a good video. I watched half of it. It was a long video, and I was kind of occupied with other things while it was on, but I didn't really understand the point that he was trying to make with it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. I gotta go back. Did you see that?
I seen the thumbnail for it and I paid it no attention because I've been just busy the last couple of days. Yeah.
Short the clankers out, Zero. Short them.
Well, they could do like they do for all the swarms of drones. They just hit it with some kind of jamming signal and all the robots will fall down. And then you just take an axe to them and chop their arms off and they can't do anything. Chop their arms off, weld them back on backwards. So they walk around like this. And
who is looking at? PG-13 Bill Hound show. I'm looking at a 95 Lexus LS 400 with 80,000 miles. Wow. Is very clean too. Is that a good vehicle?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great vehicle until it needs a starter. But other than that, it's a fucking kick-ass. It's a kick-ass car.
It's a complicated vehicle. I mean, like that. So in '95, that was top of the line, right? So it's got
the best shit you could buy was that car.
Yeah, it's got all of the goodies, all of the trinkets and doodads. So, you know, the more complicated they make something, the more trouble-prone it's going to be. But mechanically, yeah, that's as good as it got. You may have issues with like the HVAC controls and stuff like that.
And the tape player and stuff like that. But
yeah,
other than that, yeah, that's because Lexus was showing off when they built that. So it's the best of everything that Toyota did. So it's, yeah, just keep it, rub it, change the fluids. It'll probably run for the next century.
That's max Toyota engineering. That was the pinnacle, right? 1990s up to like 2010 or thereabouts, 2005. That's like peak Toyota, and yeah, that's a good vehicle. 80,000 miles on it. I wouldn't even use that as a driver, man. That would be like a nice Sunday afternoon kind of car because that's going to be a collector piece. It
still looks good. It still holds up. It's the most beautiful car to drive. And it's running right. Yeah, it's liquid filled motor mounts and all kinds of Wazo stuff they put in that car. It's a beautiful machine.
Yeah, but
if you don't want it, let me know where it is.
I wouldn't put it in daily traffic though. Honestly, I would treat that as something special because it is. Rocco is saying, I believe the seatbelt interlock was federally mandated in '74. Yes, it was. The Chrysler just had a really bad. Not bad. It had a failure-prone system. Easy to bypass if you know what you're doing with it. It's like it literally takes like less than a minute to bypass the whole system. But if you're not familiar with it and you don't know where to go, I've seen people gut the dashboards on those cars trying to figure out how to make them. Yeah. But all it takes is just a very simple jumper wire under the hood.
And Fubar just put a link up to my channel. Thank you, Fubar.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. So everybody go over to Dr. Art's channel, give him a sub because he got nuked. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this now, but a couple months ago he got nuked, lost his entire channel, all 10,000 subs, just right down the toilet. So he's been slowly regrouping. So go over there and give him a like and
watch stuff.
Show him some support. Scoop is saying 74 was when they put the giant ugly bumpers on cars. 73 was the first year that they not all models but most of them got the 5 mile an hour bumper. 74 they were all in there. Let's see. Rocker said, you're just pointing out that it was a federally induced issue. Oh, the seatbelt interlock. I know.
And Territory said he was in line at In-N-Out watching our live stream. He says, that's good.
What was he doing?
One comment right below where you're at.
Oh, in line at In-N-Out and watching UTG. Excellent. I have my In-N-Out hat at the shop. So I had to get one. Let's see. He doesn't like EVs. F all EVs. Ship them back to China. Half the boats would sink. There would be problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she's referring to. A Mexican spec was showing one of the Sentra hatches. I forgot the Mexican name for it. Like a lot of those got good engine in them. You talk about the Nissan Sentras, like 1980s, into 1990s Sentras were freaking bulletproof. Those cars in New York, they were everywhere. They were like roaches. They were everywhere. I worked on a ton of those cars.
Yeah, with the stick shift, they were just go forever. Just
yeah. Those were great cars. Those are the last really simple but common American passenger cars. Mexican spec is saying the Sentra hatch, whoops.
Missed it by one.
Yes, missed it by one. The Sentra hatch was called the Hikari here, and the wagon was called the Samurai. Interesting. Yeah, no, they were great. I worked on a ton of those things. They were great. Timing chain, timing belt every 90,000 miles. And they would just go and go and go and go and go. No, Rocco, I never got my chicken fried bacon. It's coming. It's coming. Let's see. Scrolling back up. Joker is saying the B13 Sentra SER is peak Sentra.
Yeah.
There you go. Mexican spec. I asked the shipping company I work with if they allow electric cars. They says no effing way. They've already sent like 5 ships, 5 cargo ships to the bottom that we know of.
Full, very expensive ships full of packed with cars because the EVs caught on fire for no apparent reason, just because they didn't want to go.
Just
They got
because.
seasick. Yeah.
There was one video, I don't know if you ever saw it, but that's exactly the video was taken from like the tower of the ship, and you're looking over the front, and they had all of these cars parked out front, and the ship's just doing its normal thing in the waves, and then all of a sudden this car just out of the blue, poof, like that, and then it lit off everything around them, and it burned the ship down.
Mm-hmm. Explain that one to your ship insurance company. Oh, well, yeah, it just started on fire in the water. Yeah, you're in the water and your ship started on fire. Okay.
Mark Survey, I heard years ago that the life of a New York City police cruiser was about 3 months. That's not true. And that they used K cars for a while. They did. Probably not true. No, they actually did. They definitely lasted more longer than 3 months. And yes, for a while they were using the K cars.
Yeah, look at the New York City cabs. Those things got 300,000-400,000 miles on them.
Yeah.
And they put in a new driver and shine up the medallion and just keep it going.
Now, I don't know what kind of life they get out of the new stuff. I have no idea, but then again, I haven't lived in New York in 25 years.
So it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Like a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Tim Miller is saying the burning ship was for insurance company to pay China follow money.
Could be.
Could be.
The one right below that one. I don't know if there's any. I have not heard that.
What is it? Are they bringing back the Crown Vic?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that. But then I don't really pay attention to the new car stuff unless like it really jumps out at you.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Dr. Art, look what time it is.
It's time to go.
It's time to be gone. Like, we should have been out of here. Like,
yeah,
minutes ago.
2 minutes of bonus nonsense.
Yes. Well, this was fun.
Yes.
We should maybe get together and do this again sometime.
Like on a Wednesday night, or?
I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that idea. All right. So, Barry Kuda saying something about dogs being illegal in New York. Oh, please. I'm going to talk about it. Our amazing mods, Fubar, Zero, Mexican Spec. Guys, thank you so much. Everybody contributed Super Chat. Thank you. It's never expected, but always appreciated. And everybody who contributed with your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. Go over there, give him a like and a sub. And we got Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage. He's in here. Go over there to his channel, greatest Mopar channel in all of YouTube. So go over there and sub to him. And Mexican Spec's been doing lives lately, so go check out Mexican Spec Live. I don't know when he's doing the next one, but put it up there. And then Dr. Art does lives every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And
that's right.
Twice I launched a video during your live and didn't realize it until
I know you're piggybacking. I know, that's fine.
I didn't do it intentionally. It's just Kathy launching. She finished the editing and doing everything she does, and just happened to hit the go button at the same time that. So
at least I released mine like a half an hour before you're live on Sunday. So.
I'm sorry. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm going to hit the out button, and yeah, I mean that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Kill it.
Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
don't get killed out there. And it's over.